We'll get our language and history and culture committee started, and we're running now always about as usual, 6-7 minutes overtime. And so as we go into the meeting, let's all stand word. Holy Father God, we thank you for the many blessings that you bestow upon us, Lord. And Lord, as we meet here this day, Lord, we just pray, Lord, and giving you all the adoration, Lord. And as we meet here, Lord, just help us now to focus our meeting upon you and for your guidance. And Lord, and as we go out through this day, just help us now to be focused upon thee for the newness of life that we have. In the name of Jesus, we thank you for salvation. And Lord, and as we go through, Lord, just help us now to manufacture the things that needs to be done, Lord, that it'll work out the best for the people. And Lord, and as we go on out through this day, Lord, just help us now that this day that you have given us is for a purpose, Lord, and just to glorify your name in the things that we do, Lord, not for ourselves. Lord, just help us not to be always in the temporal things, but Lord, help us to focus upon the eternal things. And Lord, so this day we give thanks unto you in the holy name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. All right, let's have a roll call.
Johnny Keener.
Honey.
Phyllis Shargy.
Honey.
Bill Anglin.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Audra Connor. Joe Crittenden.
Here.
Meredith Fraley. Don Garvin. Taylor King. Jackie Bob Martin. David Thornton. Kara Cowan Watts.
Honey.
We have a quorum.
All right, next one is approval of minutes on June the 12th regular session.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, passed. All right. And the first of all is, do we have anybody here that this is the first time you visit with us? John, we're glad to have each and every one here. And of course, we're always glad to have visitors and the staffing and stuff. And of course, the council and the committee, they're always expected. All right. So as we go through here, first one is the reports. Cemetery Restoration Assistant Report. Don? Did somebody present Don? All right. Hold it, Mr. Baker?
Yeah, could you give us an update on Don?
He's in the office.
Is he?
Yeah, he's up there. He's doing good.
Good, thank you.
Mr. Baker, he is on light duty, so he's in and out. He'll come in for a short period of time, then he leaves because sitting kind of irritates him a little.
I'm just tickled he's back in. Thank you.
All right. All right, proceed report.
Okay, as you can see, there's not been that many changes. I did get some receipts yesterday from Gray and Fleet Springs on the 07, and they are complete. I got them yesterday after I had run this report. There was a lady, and I can't recall her name, but it was from Oak Cemetery, and she had a concern about a trailer that was bought with cemetery funds, and the lady that was the contact person that was taking care of their funds for them had quit. She got upset and quit, and they were trying to figure out how to get the trailer that was purchased. And I spoke to Shelley about it, and they were going to
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a question, Donna, on this report. It says 10/195 through 9/30/06. This is fourth page, third page, on this, McCoy, it says brought in written accounting of cemetery funds on 7607, but no receipts. Was that a written account of
Yeah, they just
$500?
Yeah, they just write out what they expended on.
Well, the reason I'm asking is that they have another application that we're going to be looking at, so I was just trying to make sure that they did do a report for the $500 that they got previously.
Yeah.
You said this is the Oak Cemetery?
Yes.
No, the one she was talking about.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oak Cemetery, yes.
Oak? Did they turn in all the paperwork?
I got a handwritten receipt from Mike Murphy that they sent in, that they had received $300 for a flatbed trailer where they were going to transport their lawnmower, and they haven't seen the trailer.
Well, okay.
Go ahead.
They got the $500. They bought a trailer and for $300, and they did something else, I assume. We got a receipt for something else?
They used the rest of it for like lawnmower, like gas and stuff. Before, the first time, they said they'd already bought a lawnmower, and then the Norma Foreman, she purchased a trailer from Mike Murphy for $300.
Okay. I don't know about everybody else, but if they got the $500, they spent it on maintenance and upkeep and bought a trailer, then that sounds more like an internal with the with the cemetery board rather than our problem. I mean,
Yes.
if they gave us, if they spent the money and told us, gave us receipts for what they spent it for, then that's for them to work out. I don't think we need to be the police between these,
That's what I told them.
Okay. Well, I just don't want to be the police over internal. I mean, it's almost like trying to get in between a husband and a wife type deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they did what they were supposed to do for us, then I think it's the cemetery's board's problem to go find the trailer, and I don't think we need to be the police of it. That's my opinion.
I explained that to her.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My only concern is, I agree we don't necessarily police the internal, but if the group itself raises the concern, then we need to be cautious about continuing funding to them. I think we do need to hear those things. I mean, if they're not functioning properly, they acknowledge they're not functioning properly, then we don't need to put more money into them. That's my only concern.
Mr. Baker?
Well, and I appreciate that sentiment, but it sounds to me like the lady that they're having problems with has gone down the road, and if anything, now they don't have the trailer that we helped them with last year, and they're functioning together trying to do their audits and get their paperwork up and get everything square, and I'd hate to penalize the ones that are coming to us and trying to do the right thing because somebody did something in the past. I don't know. This is really good spent money.
It is the Cherokee people's money, and we have an obligation to have some rational ownership of that money. And so they need to send us some kind of documentation that it's not going to continue to happen. How are they setting internal controls then to prevent that happening? Acknowledge that something happened, and then let's submit it. It's part of the public documentation, because if somebody questions it, they have the right to that information through our FOIA Act. So that's all I'm asking.
Phyllis and Baker.
I know we're not to it yet, but under new business, we're supposed to talk about the policy and procedure, and you have a draft or something, so maybe some of this discussion could be addressed at that time and added to that policy and procedure or whatever. That was my suggestion. Thank you.
And Kara, I agree with you. I mean, what you're saying is absolutely, she left. But anyway, I agree but it almost sounds to me like they acknowledge they've got a problem and come to you saying, hey, we don't, we've lost this trailer, we need help, but we still need help with the cemetery. Is that what they're telling you?
Yes.
So maybe if you'd get them to document that in writing and that they're on top of it and all, because I would certainly vote to fund them again, if they, not to the same person as before, if there's problems, but to the new board or the new leadership.
I had asked her, just to write a statement for their file.
Yeah.
She said she would mail it in, and
Right.
I told her, but as far as, trying to find the trailer for them, I told them that it was,
Yeah, and I think that's
they'd have to work it out.
what Kara was saying, was just get it in writing that they acknowledge they got a problem and they're going to see that it doesn't happen again, type thing.
Very good point. Phyllis?
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. Donna, on this report, the first page, Fishertown, that's in District 4. That's close to quorum. And I think that and then there's on District 5 under the Mouse Dry Creek, since they already brought the check back, I think they should be taken off of this list.
Okay.
And on Clay, the last one, since they never got any money, I don't think they should be listed on this report either.
Okay.
There's nothing for us to do. That knocked two of them off anyway. Make our list a little shorter. Thank you.
Go ahead and proceed.
That's all I have, unless they want to discuss.
Any more questions for us? Not? Thank you.
Thank you.
I will go into new business here. And number one is approval for cemetery restoration assistant applications. Let's see what we got here.
Chairman?
Oh, wait a minute here. We still missed one. I'm sorry here. We got a number 2 here still in the reports right here. Director's report. Gloria Slide. Sorry.
Good morning. I was going to let you get away with that one. I was going to sit over there.
I knew that.
Well, we have a very short report, and it's good to see everyone here. Really have enjoyed working with all of you. So we have had a very, we've been very busy, but as far as a report, it doesn't show because we've had the summer camp in June with 125 students at Cherokee Elementary, so all the staff were committed to that, and they're busy right now gearing up for the fall, catching up with the emails that are backed up for 1 month, and also we're doing that. And the major thing that happened on the administrative level is we attended the language summit in Washington, D.C., requested and lobbied for $10 million. We educated our legislators, and now at this point, I think that they've asked for appropriations of $9 million. And this language, the Ana Marie Martinez Legislative Act, will support monies for preschool immersion and language survival schools, which is what we're gearing up. And so if the appropriations go through, then we will be applying for monies to support our immersion center and the grades kindergarten, first and second grade.
Mr. Baker?
Of that 10 million or 9 million, any idea what the Cherokee Nation might be in line for?
We'll be looking probably for, there's only about 5 groups that are eligible for this money, so I'm hoping that we could get at least 600,000 out of it, 700.
Okay.
Because we do have the preschool, and we've tried to make sure that all the handbooks and every regulation that we have fits that legislation. We have been working on it at the national level for 5 or 6 years, and so I've looked at the standards that they have in there, the number of hours the children have to be in school, the training the parents have to take, and we've kept that model in our immersion program so that we would be eligible when and if it passed. But we've done that. And then the GPR work, we had one person who has been trained, another one's going in a couple of weeks. We are beginning work already. We have started out here at the cemetery, out here at Park Hill. I don't know the name of it, but Boudinot and Worcestershire are buried out there. And so we were working on that, so we're beginning to do our GPR work. And we do have that training, and I want to schedule some more. Then with the Heritage Center, they had 2 educational workshops. They had the stone carving with 4 attendees, and June 9th they had the cornstalk shoot. They had 40 participants, and with the blowgun 40 participants. And so they're assisting with the Cherokee Heritage Center activities of under the Cherokee Moon and working with that. And then they conducted the 40th anniversary celebration, and I'm not sure that I didn't get the attendance on that one. But we do have that. And the only upcoming thing that we really have that we're excited about is staff are going out into community meetings. Since we are not conducting as many employee classes and all of that the month of July, we're going to be going out into the communities and listening to the people. Our community classes were very low in attendance last year, at least in my standards, and so we want to go out and hear who wants to have the classes and what we can do to improve them. So we're going to be out there this month. Thank you. That's all that I have, unless you have questions.
Any other questions for Gloria? If not, well, don't.
You might as well do the chief's monuments while she does.
Yeah. All right. And so we're going, the old business now is a former chief gravesite monument here.
And so last month, Councilwoman Cowan asked that we get 3 quotes on the markers. We have those quotes with us today. And so, as you know, they will only be good for a month or so. So we're going to be looking at that. But we do, because of the policy, we do have to get the number of quotes. And so you can look at those. And the 3rd page is the design, and remember it's the kind of same. So that's what it's going to be, the size of the veterans marker.
Gloria, how many markers are we talking about? I haven't read through this. It's probably listed somewhere.
I think that it depends. Depends if we're going to mark. We were counting elective chiefs. I think there were about 12.
11 or 12.
Yeah, 11 or 12 elected chiefs. And then we have the chiefs for a day. And that's beginning with 1839 here. And it depends on the council what they would do. So we weren't counting the chiefs for a day, just the elected chiefs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not sure how to read these pages, so there are 3 bids here, and who's this first company, and what is the actual price on it?
This was from Hart. I'm sorry, unlike you, I didn't look through and I didn't see the third one. You had the one from the Hart Funeral Homes.
Is Joey Faulkner with Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I don't have the third one in here. I've left that one off, so it's probably lying on my desk.
It's clear to me that Hart's the $350 or whatever, but what is DNR Monument's actual price? And it looks different than what Hart's saying.
Well, Hart's has worked with us before, so they've kind of laid it out for us. But, and then on the DNR monument, okay, so they're looking at and when we sent them the dimensions and stuff, we were talking about the 2.5 by 12 foot, the same as the VA marker. And they're saying that our first one will be 812, and then each additional one after that would be 552, even though they didn't lay it out.
But the one's a bronze, the other's a granite.
I'm sorry.
I haven't yielded the floor.
All right.
I guess I'm concerned because we're putting Dr. Sly in a position of procurement and doing multiple things, and I don't know, I would rather see the committee go through the proper process of procurement, the office.
Because once we do this, I'm assuming that once we decided on the marker and things, that we would send it through to...
Oh, okay, then you're right. Me. Excellent.
That we wouldn't handle it.
Okay, good, because I didn't like putting you in that position.
Right. I can't do it anyway.
Okay.
We can't spend money personally. I mean, so you have to go through our department to order it and purchasing and everything. And so...
What is your department recommending? Should we do the black granite or should we do the bronze?
The black.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Baker.
Yeah, I agree. The bronze would be too easy to pry it off and all. But the only comment I want to make is that Hart's says 9% sales tax, and I don't think we're going to have to do that.
No.
So I think that would just be a pure price, and they do good work and they are care of it.
Jack?
And this is the size of the VA marker, which is 2
Right.
feet by 1 foot. But I was thinking we had discussed in our last committee meeting to make them more square, which is what the picture shows as more square. So it would be a little bit larger.
Oh, okay. I didn't have making them more square in my notes, but that's okay.
Did we just go to something like 20 by 24 rather than 12 by 24 or 18 by 24?
Make a motion.
Okay. Well, I'll do that, we make them either 18 by 24 or 20 by 24. Whatever the standard stump size would be.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right, when you going to determine what size you're going to get? Got 2 of them.
I have a question.
Yes, George.
Are these the sizes that are listed on the front, are they the size that they come in? Or if we go to the size that Jack is saying, will that be a custom-made size, or are these, I mean, is that a size that is available? You know, we don't want to get into custom making, and if that's not a standard size, you know, then that's, I was just wondering if these are the only sizes that are available.
These are the standard sizes right here on the front that they do, but they can...
12 by 4, and...
So you have... you've got one that's...
30, 36, 38 by 40 by 12, or is that 28 by 14 by 4, the very, down at the bottom of that single markers?
The 2 by 1, that's
See, down at the bottom, it says on 3 by 2 by 1 by 2
base.
base. Okay.
Okay, those are round,
Okay.
So you have a little base, and you have this round thing sitting on it. Okay?
Okay.
I will amend the motion to say approximately 2 foot square, whatever the
Okay.
standard size would be.
Mr. Baker?
Yeah, and I'll agree to that, but now we're still talking about a bigger marker at the entrances, right?
Right.
But we just haven't got there.
Because we're the only one that we've been discussing, we've been looking at the original, the historic marker at the entrance with the name and places for the chiefs, because like at California Cemetery, you have 4, so you have that. But then the individual chief graves, then we're looking at those markers.
Deal?
Thank you. I'd like to also, I'm always involved in a lot of cemetery restorations and stuff. I'd like to see us put these on bases, concrete bases, because what happens if you just set this marker out there on the ground, what they'll do is they'll settle over a period of time. And then plus the lawnmowers and weed eaters will get into them. If you put a concrete base around them, they'll be more apt to stay level and not let lawnmowers chip the corners and everything else. So I'd like to see us also put the concrete bases under them, for protection. And plus, also they can mount them through there with boats through the bottom side where people can't just come up and lift them off and take them, remove them from the cemeteries.
Mr. Baker?
Now, Gloria, these are designed to be buried, right?
Just to lay flat. They're
Yeah.
the 4-inch ones, they're designed to lay flat so a lawnmower can go over it.
Right. So, I mean, they're buried in the ground.
Just like the VA marker.
Just like the VA
We're
marker.
designing it just like that.
Right. Okay.
Lori, is everything flat on it? You said
Yes,
something about a raise or something or something like that, but, okay, it's gonna be flat.
It's going to be flat.
And now?
The writing is going to be etched in. So,
And I think, okay, Mr. Bill,
And I know they're flat, but also VAs are putting them on these concrete pedestals down in the ground to stabilize them and keep people from removing them. They're flat where they're bowed over, but the concrete is down underneath that. So it's still a protection.
in other words, we're gonna, how thick are they? 4 inches, you say?
yes, they're 4 inches.
All right, then you're gonna have to dig about a 6 foot, 6-inch hole, fill with concrete and set that in there so it'll lay there.
Well, they make
Probably be more than that.
precast bases for them.
Probably about 8 to 10 inches. Probably would be sufficient for them. Plus 4, that's what's gonna sink in the concrete. Well, whatever, have we come to a decision yet? Actually, what size, how we're gonna do it?
I'd like to
What's the
make,
expense and all that?
we need to make a friendly amendment to include the concrete and the,
That's fine. I'll accept it.
All right, someone restate all of this right here so the recording secretary can get it right.
Okay. I move that we approve the markers for approximately 2 foot square, the standard size, whatever the standard size would be, approximately 2 foot square, with a concrete base.
Everybody agree? Is that a motion? You have a second?
You did? Yes,
All
sir.
right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign? Whew, carried.
thank you.
Been at it quite some time. All right. We're done. Well, let's see, where are we at now?
New business.
All right, we're going into the new business here. Approval of the cemetery restoration assistant applications here. Do we have any, Mr. Baker?
Yeah, I'd move to approve District 1, Foreman Cemetery in Mount Zion.
All approve, signify by aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. District 2. Who's got District 2 here? All right.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'll move to approve those in District 2 also. Now, there's one that's, might have some questions about, and that's the one that Mr. Beaver applied for. It's the Hickory Van Hollow Cemetery down by Bunch. Jacob told me he had to go to some appointments today, but he signed back here where he looked at the blue card and the white card of Mr. Beaver. So he does have them, but he didn't have a copy, or didn't get a copy into it. If that causes anybody any problems, we could hold up on that till we get that copy in, I would say, but otherwise...
Which one is it, the Hickory Van?
Yeah, it's the last one of the three there.
Okay.
But without any exception, if there's none, I would move to approve those 3 cemeteries.
Second.
All approve?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Carried. All right, District 3. Cherokee McCoy Cemetery.
I'll move to approve District 3.
Second.
All right, second, and all approve?
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. District 5, 2 of them. This was one of the controversy here, the old cemetery, but it's all taken
Move for approval.
I'll second.
all approved for District 5?
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Carried. Cemetery restoration assistant policy and procedure. Who's got
Mr.
that?
Chairman,
Yes.
at our last meeting, it was the desire of this committee to come up with some policies and procedures regarding the cemetery restoration application, and it was recommended that Charlie Soap's group take a look at coming up with a draft. I apologize to the committee for the lateness. We thought we would have it in hand before this meeting, but I only got it Friday, and we were also told that we would be notified when this draft was being worked on, so that anyone from the committee could attend, but that didn't happen. So this is the policies and procedures that is in front of you.
Phyllis?
Let her finish, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
In reading it, the only one that I'm having a little hard time with is under eligibility, number 1, cemetery must be located within the Cherokee Nation jurisdictional area. And I don't know that the at-larges, if, like in Ohio, where the cemetery that the trail went through or whatever that was in the news last year. Illinois, I'm sorry. And that there could be some possibilities that we might want to do one in Arkansas or someplace else that would meet the other qualifications.
Jack?
Yes, I've been discussing with someone in Texas, for a group of Cherokees went to Texas, and it's primarily the Cherokee Cemetery that they're restoring, they're working to restore. So I agree, and we had agreed earlier that it would not apply strictly to the 14 county area.
I believe we amended the act.
Yes, it was.
So that's probably needs to be taken a look at and changed.
Do we all have a pretty good handle on this?
Mike? Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead.
My concern is, and I know it's been discussed several times, about the copy of the receipts under the funding amounts, copy of receipts for the purchases made using the funds. And I know that there's a concern that we don't have a receipt for every dime or dollar that's spent, but, I think that I would like for us not to make this so difficult for community people to see about their cemeteries. And I really think that we need a fast, hard policy about, are we going to ask them for receipts at the time or whatever it is, instead of coming back and saying, well, have we gotten the receipts? Because according to these reports, and the policy, all it says is that we have to have a written report on how the money was spent. Now, that's what the application itself says, and then when we get this report, we see that, they have submitted written reports but no receipts. So, we really need to decide if we're going to ask for every receipt, and then, I would like the council to really stand behind that, not expecting receipts or expecting receipts, should that be what you determine to do. I think that our community people are willing, ready, and able to do whatever we tell them to do if we just make it clear that that's what we want them to do. I think that we shouldn't make it difficult for them to work in their community to upkeep the cemetery. Thank you.
Bill?
Well, my only thought is, I thought we had discussed the receipt thing, and I said, to me, the receipt is these employees, they go out and they check to make sure these cemeteries are being kept up. If they're not being kept up, and you go out there and the grass is knee high or chest high, then that tells me that they're not spending the money properly, whether they turn in a receipt or not, so to me, we need more people out there visibly checking these things out to make sure that they're doing their job. Because I know what it's like to go to a gas station, you buy 5 gallons of gas, and it's $15, $20 now, so
Jack?
I drive off and I don't ever get a receipt, so I know that the same thing could happen to these people.
I was going to suggest that, which is a copy of receipts for purchase made using the funds, or a written explanation as to why the receipt is not available. Yes.
I was going to do the same thing, except I was going to add when possible, and that way it gives them. It's just not hard and fast that it has to be, because it's just like the $5 in gas, or it makes it easier if they take the receipts. But I've been in a lot of organizations, and I've been where the secretary or the treasurer was meticulous, and you thought she was a CPA. And I've been in organizations where there was no track whatsoever. The kids got taken care of, and people have different styles, and out in these communities, these cemeteries, quite likely they spend $1,000 and write a report that they spent our $500. They don't have receipts for any of it, and but I'm telling you, from going to these cemeteries, this money is a godsend, and our cemeteries are getting better and better because of these dollars. And so I'd like to maybe amend this policies to strike the word Cherokee Nation jurisdiction, or within the Cherokee Nation jurisdiction, and add when possible under receipts.
Finish.
I put that in form of motion.
Phyllis?
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. I think that also we need to say something. I think what the intent was these that are past the deadline in reporting, they passed the 120 days, and it doesn't look like it's been addressed in this particular draft. So extensions Under extensions, I guess, I think what the community service people were wanting to know, what do they do after the 120 days, and they haven't gotten a report. And I think that wanted the council, this committee, to decide that. So I think that needs to be a topic of discussion before we take a vote on the final.
Finished. Mr. Thornton?
I know some cemeteries down our way, and there's elders that are actually doing the paperwork on this, and maybe they go out and buy fencing for this cemetery, and they have 2 or 3 boys that work for them, putting it up, and they pay them for labor for putting it up. And it looks like to me that they could just fill out a report saying, we spent so much on fencing, we spent so much on labor, and that would be enough. You know, they may have where they bought the fencing, they may have got a receipt, and they may not have. And we have so many people out there that are doing that, and they can't afford, you know, there's just so much for labor on that. And I can understand them using some of that money for labor, but I think it needs to be just a handwritten report about what happened to the money and where it's at and how much they spent on each one of them, who they give the money to, and because you can spend a lot of money on one mowing if it's a good sized cemetery, and when you go have somebody come in and mow a cemetery and you can't do it physically, well, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money. I mean, I've seen $400, $300-400 on one mowing on cemeteries, but those are cemeteries that's kept up well and you know they can afford it. But when you go in and you mow it once, and especially this time of the year and how the weather's been, that grass is going to be knee high when you turn around. And if you can't get back in there and mow it, you've got a problem. You've got to. And these elders a lot of them can't do that, you know, and they have to hire somebody. It looks like to me a written report would be good enough for receipts and telling how they spent this funding. And that's the way I look at it.
Finished.
Thank you.
The lady way up there, come to the podium there and give us your name.
Darlene Foreman. I've worked with Charlie on this policy, and I know Phyllis brought up that we were supposed to let the council know, the counselors know when we were going to meet. Charlie thought that'd be better to go ahead and just draft something instead of trying to get, you know, all the counselors together here to meet to discuss this. And so this is just a draft. And so any changes that need to be made, we can make them changes. But I just wanted to explain that, you know, we didn't overlook or, you know, not just ignore the request to have this, you know, the counselors to meet and discuss this. That was a good draft. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I have to say.
Mr. Garvin.
Mr. Chairman, I think this is going to be an excellent policy and procedures with those changes that Bill John mentioned, and I don't have any problem with 120 days. I think it needs to be left out completely. And so I call for the question.
Repeat the question.
I don't think there was a second. There was no second.
I second.
Karen.
Mr. Chair, before we vote on this, could you repeat the motion that's actually been made?
Okay. It's to accept this policies and procedures, striking the number 1 under eligibility that says Cherokee, our cemetery must be located within the Cherokee Nation jurisdiction. Then under funding amounts, 500 stays, but under a copy of receipts for purchases made using funds when possible, adding the words when possible. And that's it. Well, I don't see it in here, and Don just seconded saying that he didn't think the 180 days need to be in there, and I'm okay with that. Check.
Also, the first sentence, strike within the 14 county service area. under type of service.
Oh, yes. Individual organization. Yes, strike within the 14-county service area. Use the restoration maintenance of Cherokee Cemetery.
I'm not clear. We are going to require either receipts or a written report, right? Can we also put a caveat in there that the employees randomly or when needed go check cemeteries for maintenance?
Good.
I offer that as a friendly amendment.
I think that's a given, but it
Mike?
might be good to be in there.
Nancy?
Yeah, come on up.
Just wanted to let y'all know, the employees on this is Donna Chukulate. She is paid through NAHASDA funds. We can get in trouble because she's paid through NAHASDA funds doing other job duties. So if you're going to request that employees monitor this, we may need some additional funds just to pay those wages or to tap into this funding that you currently have out to pay for some wages. And then also you got to worry about your mileage and all that other stuff that comes with that.
Just to clarify, it's not a requirement, my friendly amendment, just to make sure it's in writing and available that the public, when they sign on, know that they have to take ownership for the funds they're getting from the tribe. But I think that Willard has a great point. I think we need to look at how we're funding and the administration of this, which is a separate meeting, needs to be at a different time. But I do think we need to be respectful of how it's been accidentally. It's like, this kind of whole thing's been accidental the whole way almost. And we need to, at the next meeting, we need to look at how we fund the staffing for the administration of this program. And that needs to be on the agenda. That's just a request. But I just want to clarify the friendly amendment, which has not been accepted, is just to state in the policy that they could be checked up on physically.
I would accept.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then just a quick one, for Willard, what, like Vicky broke shoulder, and then people like that, what?
Yeah, they could be utilized to do this. Again, though, you've got to worry about their vehicles are paid through NAHASDA, so you've got to worry about the mileage that would be on that vehicle since it's actually paid through NAHASDA.
That was just kind of.
Just a moment, let's get all of it straightened back out again here.
Point of clarification.
Clarification here.
Where would you put that caveat?
It just needs to be in that list.
Under eligibility or funding amounts, or I'm just trying to figure out where to put it.
Removal and termination.
Okay, and at the very end, add what now?
It can either be under the funding, where it's titled the funding amounts. It could be right there after that second sentence. The individual organization receiving the funds must provide within 6 months of funding a written report and then a copy of receipts and such. And then if those items are not provided at any time, Cherokee Nation may physically audit the site. I don't know how else to word that, if there's a better way, but inspect the site. Thank you.
Page 1 or 2? Page 1 or 2?
I think probably 1 instead of 2.
Okay. And under funding amounts? At the very end, or?
Yeah, you can put it as a bullet, I guess.
Okay.
Just, we can say we reserve the right to inspect a cemetery site at any given time.
Are you finished? I started.
You could put down there that the council could check these sites. I've checked 3 myself, and all the work's been done. And it doesn't get it.
I thought that was some of our responsibilities to
We
begin
can
with.
get out and check these sites. I don't think it hurt us at all. And that'd keep us down from spending that much money with Mr. Mounts over here, and the responsibility for him. And it wouldn't bother me at all to go check these sites. I go by there quite a bit, different ones. All of them can. We could check it and report on that, report to this.
All right.
History and culture.
Ready to vote?
No, I need to know now, what are we voting on? I know where the A-equip there, what do we got written down here? Read, see what we're going to vote on here again now, so everybody be clear.
Okay. We're in the first, under type of service, we're going to strike the words within the 14 county service area. Under eligibility, we're going to strike bullet 1 that says cemetery must be located within the Cherokee Nation jurisdictional area. Under funding amounts, we're going to add a bullet of Cherokee Nation reserves right to inspect, and I guess we left it open to employees or counselor who that is. And other than that, those strikes and that one ad that would be the motion.
Who seconded that motion?
Second.
All right, and all in favor of this amendment here that we have, signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. We finally got that. All right, and first, before we ask for adjournment, go ahead, Baker.
Meredith just called, and her store was robbed at 2 o'clock this morning, and so she's going to be running late, and also, I guess she's having a bad day, so everybody needs to be extra nice to Meredith today.
All right, and so here, before we go for an adjournment here, I'm assuming that this is my last meeting here for, and I have really, enjoyed it, Phyllis and I both, and so to me it's no sad parting or nothing like that, but I was just glad to serve what little I could handle with the Cherokee Nation, and as a councilman, I don't think I'm ashamed of anything that I did or didn't do or get done and didn't get done. But that's just part of the procedures and stuff, And so, but I want to thank each and every one of the councilmen, with working with you. And when I leave here, you can always say, I love you. That's one thing you can't take away from me, And so, all the staffing and stuff has been good to me, and easy to work with and understandable and all. And so I just really have enjoyed it, and let's just continue on of servicing the people as a councilman that put their trust in you to come down here to help them out. And just remember, you are a councilman. You're not the king. You're just a councilman. And so benefit the people, and I think the Lord will be blessed with it. And so, right now at this time, Phyllis, you got anything to say?
I just say thank you, Mr. Keener, for your service, and I also have really enjoyed working with each and every one of you, and I have been honored to serve and do what I can, and I appreciate everyone's time and commitment on this committee. It's one of the most important committees that we have. Our language, our history, and our culture make us who we are, and I think that it's commendable. I think it's something that's really honor to you, or should be to you, that you've served on this committee. And as Mr. Keener stated, just continue to work. I'd like to encourage you to continue to work for the betterment of all of our people, and no matter where they reside, we're all Cherokees bound by
our language, history, and culture, and just wish the best for council and all of it. Thanks.
All right, so we're gonna probably finish right up here on time here, and so the next one is the adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign, stay here. All right, we're adjourned. Thanks a lot.
Next meeting.